Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Michael Matthews. I am the purchasing agent for the Jefferson County Commission, and I would like to welcome you to this, what I refer to as a solicitation walkthrough video. If this is your first time being involved with a bid with Jefferson County, I want to say thank you for at least taking this opportunity to get more familiar with how to do business with the Jefferson County Commission. This is a special bid for us because we did an outreach to several of those who are licensed home builders. And so we know that if you're watching this video, is because you received some sort of letter in the mail asking you to come and take a part in this bid process, or you actually saw it in the paper, whether it's the Birmingham Times, the Alabama Messenger, or the Western Star, or any of those other publications that we actually advertised in, or you may have seen it on our website and said, hey, let me take a look at this. So thank you, however you got here. Thank you so much for participating. I wanted to take a few minutes to go through the bid document to highlight some of the important sections. What I do want to let you know is sort of a disclaimer or notice is that what I'm doing here does not preclude you from reading the whole bid. Every page is important. I'm just highlighting some specific sections to get you more familiar with how to do business with the Jefferson County Commission. So we know that we're dealing with the ITB number 29-24. This is for housing rehabilitation services. We have 5 cases. We'll refer to those toward the end of this document. But one of the things that we want to point out first is all of the deadline dates and the key dates that you need to pay attention to. And that is the inquiry date or the inquiry deadline. That's April 17th, 2024. We want you to ask as many questions as you possibly can that may come up. We want to try to answer as many questions as we can. We want you to have a complete understanding of what it is we're trying to get accomplished for these particular citizens of Jefferson County. There will be a pre-bid conference on April 10th. It will be at the Jefferson County Shades Valley Training Facility or Training Center at 1331 Oak Grove Road in Birmingham, Alabama 35209. So it will not be down here at the courthouse. It will be at the Shades Valley Training Center, which is not too far from Sam's over off of Lakeshore. The ITB or the bid due date is April 24th by 4 p.m. Please do not be late because your bid will be marked late and it will remain unopened. So we're expecting a lot of participation, and we hope that you are able to get your bid in by that time. The bids will actually be opened on April 25th at 2 p.m. So this is going to be an in-person bid opening. It will also be able to be attended through Microsoft Teams in case you're unable to make it. So if you do not have a full copy of the invitation to bid document, one of the things that you can do is you can download it right here at jeffcobids.jccal.org. It is a place where all of our bids are housed on our website. And just to switch to that real quick, this is what that looks like. You will go to this web page and you can see it already right here, 29-24. It is the housing rehabilitation services bid, and then you can come right over here and you can click right here and you can download it. Or if you got some questions, you can also click this link right here so that the principal buyer, who is Miss Florency Underwood, she will be able to facilitate the answering of your questions. So I do want you to make sure that you understand that the whole bid can be downloaded anytime you can get there. It could be 8 o'clock at night. Go to the website, download it, get all of that information, and start reading up on it. So in case you have any questions, you'll be uh, ready to ask your questions. So one of the things that's really important is the notification of intent. We would love to know if you're interested in it. After you download your document and you go through it and you say, I would love to take a crack at this and put my hat in the ring, so to speak. We need that notification of intent. There's a form that is at the end of the document in the required forms page. It's called a notification of intent. We need you to send that in. We want you to get it in by April 5th uh, by 5 p.m. And once again, you can also email that to Miss Underwood. The information is right here. So please let us know if you are interested in this bid. And also, you can start sending in your questions anytime. Don't hold your questions until the pre-bid conference. Go ahead and ask your questions now uh, because it will help us have a more substantive meeting when we get everyone together for the pre-bid conference. Uh, on the telephone notice inquiries or telephone inquiries, don't blow up our phones. Telephone inquiries are not accepted. We need to make sure that everything is done in writing. And the reason why this is not because we're trying to be difficult. It is because we may have one person that has a question that 10 other people may want to ask the same question. So if we can get those questions in writing, it's clear, there's no ambiguity, and then we know that everyone's uh, questions are addressed, and we can have a very, very good chance of making sure that all of our questions are answered and any clarifications are taken care of. So please take advantage of the email address that is here. I really want you to make sure that when you send in your questions, do it both to Miss Underwood at underwoodf@jccal.org and procurement services at jccal.org. The reason why we have two email addresses here is because if Miss Underwood is out for the day, then we always have someone monitoring this particular email address here, and that way we can provide the best customer service possible. And just remember, the county is not responsible for any delays occasioned by the post office, the internal mail delivery system of the county, or any other means of delivery employed by the bidder, which is you. Similarly, the county is not responsible for and will not open any bid responses which are received late. And as indicated above, we'll take those late bids and we'll put them in a file, and they'll remain unopened. And the only time they will be open is based on the needs of the county. So let's move right along here. Uh, when you download this document, you will see that there is a lot of information. So one of the things we wanted to make sure you understand that this will be awarded on a case-by-case basis. There are 5 cases total, so you do not have to bid on all of the cases, but it's going to be awarded to the lowest responsible bidder. And a responsible bidder whose bid is lower than those received from other bidders and whose reputation, past performance, and business and financial capabilities have been determined by the Jefferson County Commission to satisfy the requirements of the bid or contract. In other words, you have to be a responsible bidder to the point where we have all your licenses, any performance bonds, insurance requirements, all of those things. We're going to look at those things to determine if you are a responsible bidder. Okay, so don't leave any of those things out. Okay, we do check to make sure that you have not been debarred from doing business with the federal government. So if you know you have been debarred from doing business with the federal government, just know that we do look at that to make a determination of your uh, status as a responsible vendor. Okay. The county reserves the right to accept or reject any or all bids or any part of any bid and waive any informalities or irregularities in the bid. Excuse me. So we do go through the bids. We understand that sometimes uh, there are some things that come through that have human issues attached to it. We do reserve the right to look at those, to accept or reject any or all. Uh, we need to make sure that we get the best vendor for the homeowners. So I just want you to know that we do reserve that right. Also, all costs incurred by the company to respond to this solicitation will be wholly the responsibility of the vendor. All copies and contents of the bid attachments and explanations submitted in response to this ITB, except copyrighted material, shall become the property of the Jefferson County Commission, regardless of the consultant or the contractor selected. Responses to this solicitation does not constitute an agreement between the bidder and the county. So we will receive your information, but that doesn't mean we have a contract. It just means that we've received your information and we're going to review your information for consideration based on the Alabama state bid law. All right, let's move right along here. Just know that the term of the contract is effective upon the bid award, and it is for 6 months. It is for 6 months. Okay. So now let's talk about the scope of work a little bit. I want to share this with you and read this to you to make sure that we have a complete understanding. This is being sponsored by the Department of Community Services. So the Jefferson County Commission, which is the county, Department of Community Services, seeking general contractors who are in compliance with the Alabama Code 34-14A1 to provide rehabilitation of residential dwellings throughout Jefferson County. There are currently 5 cases scheduled for rehabilitation. The work write-up for each is in the Jefferson County Housing Rehabilitation Required Form section of this solicitation beginning on page 24. So all of that is in this packet. All you have to do is go and download it like I previously explained, and go ahead to the end and see what the particulars are for each case. The contract will be awarded to the lowest responsive and responsible bidder per case. The resulting contract will be between the homeowner and the successful contractor, with work warranted for 1 year. At the completion of the project, homeowners will be encouraged to complete a survey to evaluate the work performed. Now, here's an important part of that. The successful contractor will meet qualifications as detailed on page 9, have extensive housing rehabilitation services experience, have an adequate number of full-time employees with the ability to do the work in-house, be able to complete several jobs in a short period of time, not violate federal or state immigration laws, or knowingly employ, hire for employment, or continue to employ any illegal alien. An affidavit of the contractor form is a required form and must be submitted with the bid. See also General Terms and Conditions Clause, Statement of Compliance with Alabama Code Section 31-13-9. F, you will need to provide a $25,000 performance bond listing Jefferson County as the certificate holder for the performance of work facilitated by the Office of Community Development under the housing program within 10 days of notification of intent to award. And then you'll need to provide a copy of a certificate of insurance for general liability listing Jefferson County as an added additional insured within 10 days of the notification of intent to award. So please make sure you go over that scope of service that you understand it. And if you have any questions about that, we've already gone over what you need to do to submit your questions. Make sure you look at the instructions to the bidders. Make sure that you complete all of the bid forms. They need to be completed. Otherwise, your packet may be deemed not responsive. Make sure also, something that's very important is this bidder registration section. Remember, we sent out a lot of notifications. Some of you who are listening to this may have received a letter from us in the mail, which contained a notice of the solicitation. Do not think that you're going to get this every time, especially if you know that you have not registered with us. If you have registered with us and you have selected the commodity code, then you will get another subsequent letter in the mail when another job or another case packet comes up for bidding or solicitation. But if you know, I want to re-emphasize this. If you know that you have not registered with us as a vendor with the Jefferson County Commission, you may not receive another notification or opportunity to bid on a packet. So I want you to make sure that you follow the instructions to get registered with us as a vendor for Jefferson County. This is really important. All of this information is included right here. All you have to do is just click on these links. We provided some very convenient links for you to be able to hop around and bounce and go to the particular websites to get the information that you need. And just remember, you can always ask us some questions about it. Send the questions to procurement services@jccal.org. And we promise you that we have a staff that is waiting and willing and has a strong desire to help you become successful in your endeavor to register as a vendor with the Jefferson County Commission. One of the big things that's important is the commodity codes that you select. Once you become a vendor, we do not know what type of solicitations to send you unless you select a particular commodity code. Uh, Make sure that you go through these commodity codes, check as many as you like or as few as you like. It doesn't matter. But we need to know what your specialties are. Okay? And as you can see in this bid document, there's all kinds of wonderful information and instructions to help you along that journey to get to a point where you are registered as a vendor. Uh, One of the other areas is the minimum qualifications. Make sure that you have your home builder's license, not about to get it, not I'm going to work on it if I get the job. You must have your state Alabama home builder's license, and a copy of that license need to be submitted with the bid. So if you do not submit this with the bid, you may be deemed as a non-responsive bidder, and I'm assuming that many of you have them because we pulled your name off of the list if you received a letter from us. So make sure you have that. Also, contractors must have a Jefferson County business license, and a copy of that must be submitted with the bid. You can go to our revenue department and get more information about that. We do need a copy of your general liability insurance or evidence of that, and we need to be listed as a third-party insured. And the contractor and subcontractors can not be on the U.S. Department Housing and Urban Development list of debarred contractors. We talked about that a little bit already. So not only you, but your subcontractors cannot be debarred from doing business with the federal government. Okay? Make sure that we pay attention to the bid submittal deadlines and instructions. We want to make sure that the package that you submit is on time, and it has to be date, time stamped, and submitted to us before the deadline. So we want one original bid and one copy. So the information must be sealed in an envelope, and the packaging needs to identify what the bid number is. Please look at this section and follow those instructions, because if you bring us a packet and it has not been put in an envelope, we cannot accept it. And then it needs to be properly identified once you put it in the envelope, so we don't have to open it to figure out what's inside of it. Sometimes if something is not properly identified, it can be opened accidentally, and we don't want to do that at all. Okay, we want everything to go smoothly and cleanly in our process. Okay, so now let's keep moving, and let's get to another important uh, point in this bid, and that's the job site viewing. Prospective bidders may view the job site by making an appointment with each property owner. Please call Shadell Nix Williams at 205 325 5571, extension 1926. Cell phone number is also listed here as 205 540 6750, or you can even email her at nixs@jccal.org if you have any questions, concerns, or anything about regarding the reviewing of the job site. That's very important. You really want to know exactly what you're bidding on. Okay. Make sure that all of your licenses and certificates are available at the time that you are placing your bid. You know, we're not looking for you to get your licenses and certificates after that date, because then you're not a responsive bidder. Okay. We talked about the notification of intent. Let us know if you're interested by filling out the form and sending it in to us as soon as possible. And then the pre-bid conference. Once again, we're having that pre-bid conference at the Jefferson County Commission Shades Valley Training Facility. We've talked about where it's located. We are so excited, and we are looking forward to seeing you there. Okay? Remember that the telephone calls are not accepted. So let's continue through our walkthrough of this solicitation. And so remember, download the packet so you can have all this wonderful information. And so we're moving right along. And so remember that when it's time to invoice, that's an important part of it, because at some point you want to get paid. Make sure that you follow the instructions here. In order to ensure prompt payment, all the invoices must be sent to the Jefferson County Office of Community and Economic Development, and that's Shadell Nix Williams again. And that is if you are one of the people who are awarded at some point, you want to get paid. So make sure that you follow the instructions on making sure that your invoices are properly notated and sent to the right place. And all of this is in the bid document. Okay. So the next section that we want to go to is we want to highlight the point that we cannot accept any electronic bid responses at this time. For this project, make sure that the bid responses that are sent by electronic devices, whether it's email or whether it is faxed, are not acceptable and will be rejected upon receipt. That it must be sealed. Vendors will be expected to allow adequate time for delivery of their bid responses, either by air freight, postal services, or by other means. Bring them up here. We'd like to see your face. Get a chance to meet you, and make sure that you're properly registered. Okay. So now we want to get to this back section called required forms. Remember, this walkthrough video is not to preclude you from reading the whole document, because all the information in here is important. I just wanted to take an opportunity to just highlight some sections, and that's what we're doing here. So when we talk about the instructions to bidders on the bid form, make sure you understand that the bids will be on a lump sum basis. Make sure that you look at the write-up forms. Make sure you're bidding on the right job that you're interested in. But read this whole section here. The work write-up is the entire scope of work to be covered under the program. Any overage, extra work, or revisions to the scope of this work write-up will have to be approved by the community by community development before the work takes place. In other words, while you're working, if you're awarded the bid and you're out on the job site and they say, hey, we need an extra plug over here, or we need an extra light over here, or we need some extra pipe over here, don't do it. Do not do it. If it goes outside of the scope that is written herein and in conform in or relative to the contract that is written, if it's outside of that, do not do it. Make sure you reach out to community development before that work takes place, because if you perform that work, we know that you're going to be out of labor, time, materials, and you're going to want to be paid. But if we don't know about it and community development does not approve it beforehand, guess what? You just gave away some free work. So make sure you follow the rules and do not try to manipulate the situation, okay? Or allow anyone else to do so. So examples of the complete contract documents are available upon request. No bids may be withdrawn for a period of 90 days after the receipt of the bids. Contractors, okay, I want you to hear me now. Contractors must view the job site by making an appointment with each property owner. Please call Shadell Nix. We went over this. Her number and her cell phone number and her email are right here. And we encourage you to just reach out to her so that there is no confusion. Okay? So continue to review the required forms area. There's a special section right here called the work write-up. So we have 5 properties on this particular package right now. So we have each section has a work write-up. And if you look here, it outlines all of the repairs, whether it's bathroom, whether it's kitchen, safety. There's a lot of detailed information here that will help you get a handle on what is expected. And then when you go out and you do the site review, you'll be able to look at things for yourself so you can make a wonderful bid. Okay, so here's another work write-up. And then you can see right here, it says here all of the details of what is expected for each write-up. So what I don't want you to do is think that each one of these write-ups are going to be the same, because they may be similar, but it doesn't mean that they're going to be the same. So don't think that just because you saw one that you can do the same bid for all the other ones and think it's going to be okay. So be careful about that. So continue to go through the package and look at all of, here's another one, look at all the work write-ups for to ascertain what are the particulars for each individual job. Okay, so after you go through all of the work write-ups and you see which ones that you want to bid on, and you may want to bid on all 5 packages, and that's great and wonderful, but you remember you have to be able to get them done in the time frame. The contracts are for 6 months. So if you're able to work on all of these jobs and get them all done within 6 months, great and wonderful. But if you're not, you want to kind of pick your poison and say, okay, I can do this one over here, but not this one over here. If you decide that you do not want to bid on a particular package, we're going to ask that you write no bid for that particular worksheet. But we want you to bid on the ones that you're comfortable with, bid on the ones that you can effectively complete, because we want you to make a good representation of yourself, and we want you to do a good job for the homeowner. Okay. Now, there are some other forms that are in here. Make sure that you fill out the experience statement. Make sure that you list your subcontractors. Remember, if you are using subcontractors, they have to be citizens. Please do not use illegal aliens. It is not something that you want to get caught doing. Make sure that you see that this is the notification of intent to respond that I referred to. Make sure that there's no collusion. We want that form back, and make sure that this important form, affidavit of contractor, and this is Alabama Act 2011-535, where it says, I will not knowingly employ, hire for employment, or continue to employ an unauthorized alien. And remember, this is all ran by E-Verify. Is the Alabama uh, law, and it is tracked. So please make sure that you fill that out. And then we do have equal opportunity or equal employment opportunity certification form. Make sure you complete that. And then the debarment statement, please make sure that you complete that. And the signature page, make sure that you complete that. So this has been a highlight of some of the more important sections. Remember, I want you to go and read all of the document. Make sure that you comb through there to see if there's any questions. Send your questions in as soon as you can. Send your intent to respond in as soon as you can. And make sure that you mark the key dates on your calendar so you don't miss any dates or times, because once you miss it, we can't go back and do it over again. So we have to make sure that everybody's treated the same and everything is above board. So once again, I am Dr. Michael Matthews. I'm the purchasing agent for the Jefferson County Commission, and I want to thank you once again for taking time to listen to this video, and I want to wish you well in your endeavors to bid on these jobs, and I wish you much success. Thank you.